Welcome to another episode of Menopause Matters. It is something that I created to help all of us women over 40 to overcome some of the craziness that we may go through during this period. I have here a lot of rumors about menopause, such as headache, disruptive sleep pattern, and also having anxiety issues and putting on weight. There's so much stigma about menopause. Does it have to be this bad, or is there a way for us to overcome it? Today, I have an expert in the area to answer us a few questions. We have Nurit Raich Rachel here. Thank you so much for coming on to our show today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to share all my scientific background and knowledge for you guys to be able to fix this and feel better in your lives.
Amazing. Please tell us who you are and what do you do?
Of course. So as Martha mentioned, my name is Nurit Raich. I am originally from Mexico, but I've lived all over the world. I spent 10 years in London managing a lot of natural food and food as medicine is my passion. I'm a food scientist and I specialize now in helping high achieving women continue to thrive to their lives and feel and look amazing. Because I was struggling with these perimenopausal changes and I realized nobody was helping us and extra weight started to creep in. I got anxiety, mood swings, disrupted sleep. And I was like, you cannot live like this. It has to be better than this. So that's when I dove back into my science studies and created a science-backed protocol that actually helps you to fix this inside the body through natural methods so we can continue to thrive. Because honestly, I think that's what we deserve as women.
I completely understand and cheering for you there because I have here a lot of women in our group there saying that, oh, what's wrong with my body? I have been doing A, B, C, D, E. I've been doing it for 40 years now, but now it's no longer working. It's not working anymore. Some of this like trouble that they have, let's go into it one by one. Hot flushes, okay? I didn't know I have hot flushes until I realized that every single time if I have a soup noodle, okay, I'm Asian, so we have noodles a lot. When I have a soup noodle, you should see me. I'm like someone coming out of a swimming pool. I will sweat like crazy, take my clothes off, and then my partner just look at me and say, what the hell are you doing? Okay, I take my clothes off at home. But still, it's not a comfortable feeling. And I avoid having noodles when I'm outside because I'm embarrassed about how sweaty I am. So what are these hot flushes that we're experiencing?
Okay, so let's dive a little bit into what's going on in our bodies, right? As we age, our hormones start to shift and estrogen and progesterone start to decrease. And it's not a linear process. It goes like this. It's like a roller coaster, and we're going to talk about that on our next session, but it really starts to decrease. And with that, so many things in our bodies are affected, including a lot of these vasomotor symptoms that you're experiencing, like hot flashes and it just sleep disturbances. All of that kind of are related, and the mood fluctuations as well are also vasomotor symptoms. So, you and I were talking about it. It's really frustrating when you start to just sweat in the middle of the restaurant and you don't feel good and you just want to take the clothes off, right? For me, it happens at night. So it's like PJ is out and I'm all sweaty. So yes, it's natural, but there are things we can do to control it. And one of the things in this case, apart from modifying our nutrition and our exercise routines, it's very important that we dress accordingly. We need to have lighter clothing, cotton or silk that is breathable. It also put our rooms at I live in the States now, but it's a 69 Fahrenheit. So it's a pretty chilly room. If you think about it, even if your partner complains, you'll be happier and they'll be happier. So go for it, put it cooler. It will start to help your body deal better with this. And then monitor if this happens when you eat something specific. For some people, you have to avoid spices or chili because that is a natural vasomotor dilatant in the body. So you need to remove that. And the same happens with alcohol. So if you are realizing that the night that you drink that amazing glass of Pinot Grigio is the night that you're sweating even more, you may need to decrease it or change the time that you're drinking. So all these things are affected, and it's all related to these changes in your estrogen and progesterone in the body that affects so many of our central nervous system and the way our body works.
Oh, that is so true, because like I started having two blankie on our bed, like with my partner. Like he can actually stand that thick cover. I am on a very little sheets at the moment because I just couldn't deal with it. It was just too hot for me. And like we set the aircon at a 3-hour cycle. So once that finished, it will stop. The room is still cool. I can like we still have a fan on, and then that will survive. So both of us can actually survive the different temperature that we have. And normally my partner is a lot warmer than me, but I think with my body changes that I'm starting to need different things. So I think this is a really good reminder for other women that there is possibility that you can still stay in the same bed. Okay, you can still stay in the same bed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah, that we can work things out, because like it is true, like a lot of the times that the men are actually feeling a lot warmer than us, but then us that were getting a bit colder, now complete opposite. He's getting a colder, and then now I'm getting warmer. But understanding that what you eat have this issue into it. Like me, I avoid eating noodles when I'm actually outside because I know that my body will heat up. So just those little bit of adjustment that you can actually help yourself to actually get better. So another thing that I hear a lot of women saying is they have trouble sleeping. And I hear them. And I thought that it was just me, because I would wake up 2-3 times, up to 6 times a night. And that means that I'm not getting a restful sleep. So why is that happening to us?
Okay, so the estrogen and progesterone also kind of balance your sleep cycles and sleep-wake cycles, right? And let's just say they're all being messed up. It's happening, but there are things you can do to control them. So first, it's very important that you start to implement holistic lifestyle practices throughout your day. And this includes a morning routine where you go outside and you see the sunrise or light for 20 minutes, like go for a walk around your neighborhood if it's possible, and see light hitting you in your eyes in the morning. Because what this does is 12 hours later, you will produce enough melatonin to be able to sleep better. So your cycles, morning and sleep cycles, are very important. And then at night, there are things that are really important. And we live in an like environment where we're so hooked up to our phones or the TVs. Okay, so if you want to sleep better, and don't hate me for this, you guys, 2 hours before bedtime, no more screens. Because the screens really mess up this melatonin production, because it's emitting this with this blue light, and it just messes you up. So for 2 hours, none of that, and start to have either meditation practices, pour some aromatherapy like lavender oils, things that calm you down and that you can start to feel more restful. Those will make a huge difference. And it's one of the things that I really love including in my program, apart from knowing exactly what to eat so your body starts to react the right way, etc. It's really important to include these lifestyle habits and practices so our body feels better and can actually let you sleep. And honestly, the nights that you sleep, not only are you're going to have much more energy, all your other symptoms will be less. So it's critical that a good night's sleep is one of your priorities throughout this new stage that we're all living, right?
Yeah, I hear you, because I always thought that, oh, okay, it's because that I've been so busy that my mind is not actually coming down. And I never actually used to have a lot of headache before. But now that I'm going into 46, and I definitely starting to feel that I'm having a lot more headache than before. And I'll keep complaining at that it's like, oh, it's just because I've been too busy. But I'm asking, is that the reason, or is there something different about it?
It's your hormones. Hello, hormones. Thank you so much. You get headaches. So 2 things here. The first one is you mentioned your mind is really busy. If that's happening to any of you, grab a journal and just write it all out before going to bed. It will also let you sleep better. So I just remember that tip for you, because it's super important to let your brain kind of relax, right? And one of the things you can do is just lay it out on paper. Nobody has to read it. You can throw it away, but all that stress through the day, put it out. And then headaches, fascinating because they are hormone related. It's one of the symptoms of perimenopause and menopause. But I had a client who had like crazy headaches, like really, really bad, but she also couldn't sleep. And she also had extra belly fat and all these other things that were affecting her. And by fixing the nutrition to this stage of life and her sleep cycle, the headaches went away. So it's very interesting with hormones, because when you start to balance one thing, all the other things start to feel better. And you have to go deep into what's happening in our bodies, right? So these estrogen changes and progesterone changes are causing things like inflammation, like blood sugar sensitivity. So we become more insulin resistant. And that is related to your extra belly fat and all those things, that the extra weight that you can't get rid of, and it's really annoying. And then cortisol levels. If you're a stressed out person or a type A, which women, we tend to do so much, that will also affect you. So the three things together are the things I love tackling through this: what to eat, how to behave, what movement to incorporate, stress reduction, to be able to sleep better, get rid of your headaches, and your the night sweats kind of decreased, the hot flashes decreased. It doesn't mean that they will completely go away, but you will feel so much better, and you won't be having them as often.
That is
Because
so
you're providing your body the right things that it needs to cope with these changes.
Oh, that is so good to know, because like, what are some of the food that we should avoid? That, like, people been talking about healthy food and stuff like that. So what are some of the things that we should avoid during this period, or when we're having our cycles?
I want to change it, and I want to say what are the things that we should include.
Okay.
And then we'll talk about the things that you
Talk
should
about
avoid.
the things that we shouldn't have, because people keep telling us what we shouldn't have.
I'm going to tell you what. So you should have more protein. As we age, our muscle mass is decreasing. This is related to our estrogen decrease in the body. So with less muscle mass, you tend to become more prone to osteoporosis, to be weaker, to have breakages later on, and you want to prevent that, right? So having enough protein in the body makes you strong and makes you healthier, and it helps you balance all these things better. Healthy fats will also help you. And don't be afraid of fats. I grew up with this, in this area where, oh, no, if you eat fat, it's really bad for you, etc. Things like that are not, it's the opposite. Healthy fats like avocado oil and coconut oil and olive oil, seeds and nuts are fabulous. They're full of fiber. They're full of all these beneficial things that will help your body feel better and avoid all these things. And then fiber. Fiber is really important. So think crunchy vegetables and things like that. Now, when it comes to what to avoid, you need to be avoiding sugars and processed foods. Those two things will mess up your metabolism in a way that you will feel even worse. So if you want to be able to manage all these symptoms and wake up energized and sleep better and avoid these headaches, you need to avoid the sugar because of the insulin resistance that I discussed previously. You are more sensitive to sugar, so your body cannot deal with it the same way that it used to. So even you will, some people start to become pre-diabetic. Some people start to have high cholesterol. All the things are related. And so sugars need to be avoided. By sugars, I mean added sugars. Fruit is great. Fruit has fiber and antioxidants, and it's delicious and it's really good for you. But if you start to read the ingredients declaration on produce items in the supermarket, you will see so many ways that people include sugar. It can be called sugar, it could be called maltitol, it could be called syrups, it could be maple syrup, it could be so many things that people are adding just as added sugars. So those are the ones that you really want to prevent having in your diet.
So we were just talking about that, the things that we should avoid, such as sugar and processed food. They are some of my love. I have to say, I do have a sweet tooth. So what can I do? Like, I still wanted to live life, okay?
Okay, so my theory is that you should really enjoy life. And by doing so, you create a healthy lifestyle that lasts. It's not a diet. A diet will never stay forever, right? The minute you hit your goal, you go back to your old self. I want you to create new habits. So here's what we're going to do, okay? while you're reaching your goals, 90% of the time, you're going to eat all these right things, everything we mentioned, whole foods, fiber, and good fats, protein, all the good things. And 10% of the time, you can have fun and add these other things. But if you really want to feel better, you really need to be avoiding these added sugars, not the fruit. The fruit is amazing because it has natural sugars with fiber and antioxidants, but always combine them with a healthy fat or a protein, so your blood sugar response in your body is the right one. If you eat them on their own, you can create a spike, and we want to avoid those spikes. And we'll dive that in when we talk on the next chat. We're going to see a graph, and we're going to see everything that's happening scientifically in your body when you eat sugar. But honestly, if you want to maintain a better constitution, prevent belly fat, which the belly fat is not only how you look, it's also visceral belly fat can cause issues in your future. It can cause cardiovascular disease and dementia. And women are the ones that get it the most, and it's the #1 killer of women, cardiovascular disease. So we need to prevent this. So sorry, yes, less sugars, but there are alternatives, right? You can, every now and again, use dates as a treat. I love making like a date bark. I cut them up and I add like dark chocolate, 85%, really important, less sugar, a lot of antioxidants, nuts on top, put in the freezer, and then you can have a bite whenever you're feeling like I need something sweet, you know, because I love sweets too. But you need to find delicious things that are more natural and provide you with the right things. And honestly, processed foods, I'm a food scientist. I worked in that industry all my life. Some of the food out there, it shouldn't even be called food, because here's what's happening with that food. And you know, you and I wanted to talk a little bit about the science. Whatever you feed your body will be what your cells are made out of. So it's up to you to decide if you want your cells to be made out of beautiful, natural, strong things that are making it good and healthy and young, or crap, that it's just destroying your body. It's just not the right elements to build a strong body. So you need to consider that. And it's, I think once you start to realize, oh, what I feed my body is how I'm feeling, or how I'm being made out of, because your cells turn, right? Your cells continue to turn around. So you want to give it the right nutrients to build the right cells that will prevent disease, that will prevent these night sweats and kind of headaches. Headaches can come from all these additives in the processed food business. So please try to avoid that. It will make a huge, huge impact.
That sounds amazing, because it is so true that we are what we eat. So only when we start looking at ourselves in the right way and looking at our diet, that's when everything's starting to change. So thank you once again for being with us today and sharing all this wisdom. And I'm so excited about our upcoming menopause roller coaster workshop that we're doing. So for anyone who is listening to our series today, we do have a workshop coming up. We are going to share it into the group and to let you know to actually join us on Knowledge is Power Thursday. So thank you once again for giving us all of this advice from a scientific point of view of how to actually make this better. I'm so grateful for your insight today.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. And if anybody has any questions, I love sharing everything like this. It's my passion. And I also have programs that are either group programs or one-on-one programs specialized for women in our 40s and 50s, going through this perimenopausal that, you know, there's so much information out there that can be quite overwhelming. And when you're not feeling amazing in your body, when you're not feeling like yourself, it can be quite depressing. So if you really are ready to combat all of this and start to feel really, really good inside and outside, there are so many natural things we can do. It's all holistic, like we were talking. It's all about holistic lifestyle practices and the right food at the right time. And it's all done for you, super easy, super practical. So if you're curious, Martha has a link. Just book a call. I'd love to chat. And it's something that I'm so passionate about. You deserve to feel amazing now and for the next 40 years.
That sounds amazing. So everyone, I will put her contact into the show note. And if anyone wanted to reach out, feel free to contact her. It is the reason why we do all of this Menopause Matters series is for you to get the help that you need. Thank you so much for being with us today again. And I look forward to see all of you again next Tuesday on Menopause Matters. Thank you.
Bye.